What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Are we finally going to get a resolve and get this move? We're going to take a look at the charts, see what we could expect, and we'll take a look at both the bearish and the bullish case scenario. Definitely stick around, and don't forget, we have a free Discord link in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome community. Let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Always do your own due diligence and your own research before investing or trading in any markets. Before we begin, I want to remind you we are doing a Ledger Nano S giveaway, and we're doing that on Sunday. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you subscribe to the channel, tick the notification bell to make sure you get notified when I post the videos, and select the all button. Then take a second out, scroll down, hit that like button, and leave your comments down below. That will get you entered to win. We are going to be doing some other giveaways on this channel too. Tomorrow I'll be announcing them, and I'm going to start a 0.1 Bitcoin account for you guys to follow. We're going to see how long it'll take us to grow it to 1 Bitcoin. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's get into it. Fear and Greed Index, we raised 8 points since yesterday. We are now in the neutral zone at 47. People are getting extremely bullish. As you guys know, in the macro, we're still making lower highs, and we have this bearish divergence on the monthly. Let's take a look at this trend line here. We are getting rejected from it as of now, and it is right around the 10,930 range, so we're going to keep an eye on that area. Let's take a look at the bullish case scenario. Looking at this, the thick white trend lines here from where we broke out, the measured move is 27,000. I would expect to come down and retest this area around 9,080. If we do get a bounce there, we could be looking at this. That could be a confirmation. That's the bullish case. There's one more bullish case looking at the yellow trend lines here as a falling broadening wedge with a measured move of 16,000. In that case, we could come all the way back down to retest, around the 7,200 area, somewhere in there, and still be valid in that formation. But let's take a look at the RSI. So the RSI shows that there is a possibility still to come up and retest this trend line, even though I've been talking about it as being less likely. I am ultimately waiting for a retest of this trend line at the bottom for major long positions. You could make a lot of money here if this plays out. If we do close a weekly above this, then I would get bullish at that point, but it would have to close the weekly RSI above this. Otherwise, my spot, I guess you could say, where I would turn bullish would be a retest of this trend line down here. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT. I'll leave a tutorial up top. It is by far the best crypto exchange in my opinion. You can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, other cryptos, all with just using your Bitcoin as collateral. Like I said, it's by far the best in my opinion. They don't trade against you. And yeah, let's see what else we're looking at here. Looking at the EMAs on the weekly. We are getting support. We are above the 8 EMA as of right now. We'll see how that plays out. Let's look at the daily. We're going to take a few different looks at the daily. I posted on my Twitter yesterday a chart, and we're going to take a look at that, and I'm going to do some adjustments to it too, so you guys can see what I'm looking at. But first off, let's look at this as a rising broadening wedge with a measured move of the $3,800 range. Guys, that's not to say it has to go down there. That's just if this was to play out. We could go all the way up to the 11,400 and retest this trend line. A break of the $11,400 to $11,500 area and getting support on this trend line would be extremely bullish. But as of right now, let's take a look at this pink trend line. And right now it's about 9,800 to break below that. And we would be looking to come down and test this trend line here around the 7,700. In my opinion, let's look at the rising wedge that we had here. It does look like we could possibly come up, retest the top of this. We don't have to. But if we do, I would expect a rejection up here, and that could be around that 11.4 range. 11.1 to 11.4, and 11.1 seems to be more important, and I'll show you why. Let's take a look at this, and then we'll take a look at that chart I was talking about. So if we take from the swing low to the swing high and put the Fibonacci retracement on that, our first level of support would be the 11,460, which we are above currently. If we do come back down and break that, but remember we have this dotted trend line here, and right around 11,100, I would expect major resistance if we even get up there. Let's see what happens here, but let's take another look at where we're at. I still believe we are looking at this possibility here, and as you can see back here before we had the big drop, we did get above all the EMAs like we are right now, and then we got rejection, came down, and we came down pretty hard. So if we break this 98, I expect a pretty hard drop to at least 92 would be the next point of support, which is the 0.382 fib, and if that was to break, then we'd be looking at the 8150 range at the 0.5, and if that was to break, then we'd be looking at the golden pocket area, which is between 6850 and 7100. And then if we look here at these dashed trend lines, I have this as a rising broadening wedge. The bullish case scenario that we break through this 11.1, get support, and come all the way up to the 13.6 area, although I think that's less likely. I think it's more likely we break down from here, but we'll have to see what happens there. The measured move of the breakdown, if we were to break down here, and that would also line up with the 200 EMA here, so keep that in mind, but that gets us down to about the $6,400 range. Let's look at what else is going on if we zoom in a little bit, and remember we're on the daily. We are getting rejected at the 55 EMA as of right now, and that is 10,780. That seems to be resistance at this point. We could be headed down from here, but like I said, we could come up to this $11,100 range and retest this area for resistance. Let's go into, this is the chart I posted yesterday. I'm going to point out a couple things real quick so I get these lines off here. If you look here, we got higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI. Normally that would be considered a hidden bullish divergence, and you see what happened there. It seemed to play out like a fake out and come down, and we're having the same thing over here. The resemblance in these is amazing. Now let's get this off of here, and I'll show you. This is the chart I posted yesterday on Twitter. Get this off. I do believe we're in the same spot in the RSI too, getting this jump up before the big dump. And let's look at what's going on. So, excuse me, yesterday on Twitter, I took the Fibonacci retracements and I put it from this swing high up here down to the swing low, and it showed the 0.382 is where we got rejection before coming down. We're getting rejection there, but I do want to do a little bit of change to this to show you. We did wick above it, as you can see. Now let's do this real quick. We're gonna move this down to this swing high right here. We're not going off these. If you use it by Elliott wave, it would be like 1, 2, and then, you know, so we're gonna go off of this drop right here, and if you see where we hit there, it is at the 0.5 fib. Let's come over to this one and do the same thing. We'll put it to the swing high right there, to the swing low, and look at that, the 0.5 fib. Could this be it? Could we come down from here? It is a possibility. Let's look at the other retracements here though. If we were to break above this 10,950 range, the next point of resistance would be the Fibonacci golden retracement or golden pocket zone at 11.2, and if we were to go up to the 0.786, would be around the 11.6. Any higher than that, then it's most likely going to turn bullish and continue up. But I think it's a good possibility we get rejected here and go down, but if not, then I'd be looking for the 11.2, and if not there, then 11.6, and after that, then I would get at least short-term bullish for possibly going to the 13.6 area. Like I said, I don't think that's going to happen, but we have to be aware of what could happen. This is my wife's webpage, inkyorimage.com. Definitely check it out. A lot of cool crypto stuff on here. She can put anything you want, not just what you see. So if you have a cool idea, let her know. She'll hook it up, even different projects or whatever. And let's take a look at the 4 hours. So looking at the 4 hour, we've been looking at this as a rising wedge, which we have broken down from right here. We do have a measured move of that. And I don't know where my measured move tool went. So I guess I'll have to put another one up there. And we'll go from this wedge right here all the way down to, you take the widest point of the wedge and move it over to where we broke down. What's that show us? The 6,030. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to show you over here on this chart, I almost forgot, is just if this was to play out exact. Let's take a look at how I would get that. I'd take the Fibonacci extension and put it right there from the swing high to the swing low back up to this swing high. Actually, that's not how I wanted to do it. Let me redo it. Sorry about that. So we go from this swing high down to the swing low to the swing high at that 0.5 fib. And as you can see, we almost hit the 2.618. If we take it and do the exact same over here, from the swing high to the swing low and up to that 0.5, if we've topped out there, we could be looking at, actually we could be looking at as low as the 42 if we go that range. Again, guys, nothing to say it's going to have to, but just keep that in your mind. This is definitely a possibility here. I know everybody's super bullish. I get it. Just don't get too excited. And let's take a look at a couple more things here. This, if we take a look at the RSI, one more push up would get us to, we would be having some bearish divergence here, hidden bearish, because we would be as of right now, we have lower highs still in the RSI, but we could push all the way up to this area, and that would be hidden bullish or hidden bearish divergence. So be aware of that. There's a lot of things still looking bearish in here, guys. Let's take a look at this here. Been looking at this as a possible bear flag if we take a measured move. First off, we were looking at this as a rising channel. If we take a measured move of that to where it broke down, gets us to about 9,700. Of course, we know there's a CME gap here. And let's take a measured move looking at this as a bear flag. That, depending on where we broke down from there, could get us to around 8,700. Yeah, that's what we're looking at, guys. Like I said, still bearish. Nothing's changed, in my opinion, at all. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh my God, we're going up. This is bullish. Guys, look at this drop here. Look how quick this drop was. And that was in a matter of, what, a few days, like maybe a week tops. And we've been sitting in this for over 2 weeks. It's taken us just to get back up this far. That's not as bullish as people are making it out to be. All right, let's take a look at Litecoin. Same thing in Litecoin. If we look at the RSI on this, before this dip here, we're in the same area over here. Before this dip, let's look at the rising channel. The measured move from that rising channel was 3,800. I still believe we're going to make it down to that zone eventually. And if we take a look at this as a bear flag, take a measured move of the flagpole, bring it down. If we were to break down here around the $48 range, we break down below that again, we could be heading as low. And it all depends exactly where it breaks to get the accurate measured move, but possibly down to the 3,200. Let's look at Ethereum. Same thing in Ethereum, guys. RSI is right in the same spot again. Just like the dip over here. Let's take a look at the measured moves there. If we take a look at this as a rising, broadening wedge, where we broke down over here, the measured move of that gets us to about the $246 range. And if we look at this as a bear flag, let me get the circle out of the way. Look at this as a bear flag. We take a measured move of the flagpole to the bear flag. If we are going to break here, that would be breaking the $354 range. We could next look for the 246 and then all the way down possibly to the 181 area. Yeah, I'm still bearish here, guys. I know a lot of people, like I said, you're wrong, it's going up. Guys, look where we were a couple weeks ago. Same within Bitcoin. Look where we were a couple weeks ago, 12,500. We're now below 11,000. That's not bullish. Anyways, Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking the CryptoSavy logo over my head. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Make sure you select all so you do get notified. Smash that like button. Leave your comments down below. And I'm out of here. Have a fabulous day. I'm out.